Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. This is Naman Rao, and today we're going to prep tooth number 3, full metal restoration, aka gold crown. This is reduction stand, you all know. Now I'll be placing punch cuts, 2 on buccal, 2 on lingual, not more than 0.5 to 1 because that will be a reduction all around the tooth. Make sure that this is metal restoration. The prep should be conservative. Don't try to go more than 1 mm. Now we will see that I'm trying to create a rough margin as usual all around the tooth surface. A very important step. If you don't create this step, I'm pretty sure that many of us will go subgingival, and we don't want that. In the ideal situation, your gingival margin should be 0.5 to 1 mm above the gingiva. Always make sure your margin is supragingival and not subgingival. As you can see, I'm being very careless with the mesial side because there is no tooth. So I'm not going to nick the adjacent tooth, but at the same time I'm being very cautious on the distal side because there is a tooth and I don't want to nick it. Nicking is a big failure. I use 169L burr. That's my favorite burr for breaking proximal contacts and reducing the proximal side. You should use this burr till you can pass a bigger burr. Don't try to pass a bigger burr. You will definitely nick some angle of the tooth number 2, and which will lead to failure. Make sure you have equal reduction both from the buccal and lingual surface. We have achieved some sort of clearance on the proximal side. So now we will go on using our previous burr to cut the proximal surface. Go very slowly, check it as many as times you want to see if you can pass through. If you cannot pass it, do not try. If you try to do that, as I said, you will nick the adjacent tooth. Now we'll be reducing the occlusal surface. Remember, for metal crown, it should be 1.5 mm reduction on the occlusal surface. Follow the occlusal contour and cuspal design. Don't try to make your own cusp. Trust me, if you try to do so, you will end up reducing more surfaces. As we all know, the prep that we make is a mini replica of the tooth, so please follow that. Now we'll be making functional cusp bevel on the lingual side, taking reference from tooth number 2. As you can see, we have achieved that, and also you can see that the tooth is roughly prepped. So now moving to the next step of finishing and smoothening. I prefer using burr 8856016 for this process. This burr helps me get the best taper of 6 to 8 degrees. Also make sure in this step you need to go with a slow speed. Don't go with the high speed. If you go with the high speed, you will over reduce it and you will ruin the prep. Also in this stage, you will try to remove all the rough surfaces, rough margins, sharp line angles and point angles. Everything should be smooth and rounded. That's the aim of this step. Although the prep looks good, smooth and finished, always check with your hand instrument and run over the margins. I'm pretty sure you will see some or the other lip or G margin, and you should remove at this step. Once we are satisfied with that, let's go and check with the inspection. You should be able to see smooth, finished and even 0.5 to 1 mm margin all around the tooth surface from the aerial view. Try to run any instrument, example probe or explorer, on the margin and you should be able to see it smooth. Also check if you were able to reproduce the contour. Take the reference from the adjacent tooth number 2. Also make sure your margins are 0.5 to 1 mm above the gingiva. It is always supragingival, never subgingival. Check for the tapers, should be 6 to 8 degrees. Now we'll be checking with the reduction stand. The axial reduction for all metal crown is 1 to 1.5. The occlusal reduction is 1.5 mm, and this is it. Everything looks good to me. It's even. Thanks a lot guys for watching this video. Make sure you practice enough. I'm sure you can do this.